A long-time supporter of JDRF, working to help find a cure for more than 20 years. As is often the case, she has a personal connection. Her husband has had the disease for some 50 years now. Quite an accomplishment. Interestingly, she began with JDRF as a staff person and helped establish and lead several chapters and even served as a regional director. Then she realized you can boss around staff people if you are a volunteer. I'd like to read a few words from her husband, and I quote, "She had the vision and the passion, and she inspired the volunteer to do the impossible. As a volunteer, this person has worked tirelessly and effectively across a range of disciplines, major donor fundraising, outreach, and as a lead on our government relations advocacy. Her work this past year as Grassroots chair was literally off the charts, and she's an integral event planner and a generous donor herself. She's charismatic, with energy and passion, and motivates audiences. On one of the many nomination forms outlining her qualities, a nominator wrote that she is as close to perfect as a JDRF volunteer can be. She is driven by helping to find a cure faster and does not care about credit for herself. And when we try to thank her, she deflects that credit to others. Well, that won't work tonight. It is my honor and privilege to present to you the Irwin Lurie Volunteer of the Award winner to Lorraine Stiehl of the San Diego.
First thing I'm going to say is my husband's in really big trouble because I've been worried sick because he hasn't called me all day and I've been worried about his blood sugar. And he told me he was on a CGM, but I didn't believe him. So everybody has thought that I've been quiet because I was told by my dear friend Artie Johnson that I was going to be delivering a motivational speech at the end of this dinner. So do I feel like a fool for the many people that I shared them? What an amazing honor this is. We have been involved for almost a quarter century. Not quite, but that's a long time. You feel old when you say a quarter century. But I gotta tell you, when Chris and I started working for JDRF, the Detroit chapter in 1980-something, late 80s, it was the tiniest of nonprofits. And I had answered an ad in a newspaper. Who answers ads in the newspaper to be a staff member in this day and age? But back then, that's what we did. And I started working with this incredible group of volunteers. And then I went to a national meeting and met Carol Lurie and Lee Ducat and so many others, Leah Mullen, and I don't know if I met Leo back then, later I think, but and so many other people. And these passionate people were going to cure my husband of diabetes and all their children. I was absolutely convinced. And it was an amazing 14 years as a staff. I mean, Artie and so many other volunteers, when I was in that staff role, we partnered together, and that was JDRF. It was incredible. What makes this organization so strong, so powerful, both here on Capitol Hill and all over the country, all over the world. And it was interesting when I decided to leave after 14 years. I thought people were getting a little sick of me. I thought I would leave and do some other things, but couldn't leave JDRF. So Chris and I remained very active, actually in 2 chapters. And on the West Coast, and have also visited so many of your other chapters, and really my work with government relations is so. Being a volunteer in government relations is so incredible. We had our government day 2 months ago, and when I got up there on Government Day, the first evening, and all these amazing government relations advocates from your chapters were there, I was so overwhelmed by the role that I was playing, leading this group of absolutely incredible volunteers. And what we did today, I'm just so excited, or yes, not today, but with the numbers we just heard today of what we did on Capitol Hill is just terrific. And our promise numbers and everything we do. Because in the end, we're going to cure this disease with our partnership with the federal government and all the other governments, Canada and Australia, and we're going to do so very much. I'm so honored.